So today is day 37 of my 126-day juice fast. That means I'm almost a quarter of the way, or almost a third of the way through it. Um, I finally crossed that stubborn 40-pound mark this morning. I thought I was going to do that about a week ago, so as excited as I am to be there, though, I guess it was worth the wait. No pun intended. I have to apologize for something I said on one of my last videos, which I was quickly corrected about. Joe Cross from Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and also Joe the Juicer on Twitter, is not from New Zealand, and I guess it's very, very bad to say someone from Australia is from New Zealand, and so many apologies to him. He was my inspiration for starting this, and I'm so excited to be 37 days in. My next big hurdle, I guess, will be 50 pounds, and I know I'll accomplish that this month during August, during my as I finish out the 60 days, and then I'll be halfway done with my juice fast and halfway to my November 8th deadline. Exciting things coming up beginning next week for me, something that's going to be really a challenge to do. I'm continuing my juice fast over a 17-day motorcycle trip. And I just learned how to ride a motorcycle 2 months ago. You see, my husband and I used to ride on his, and I was a passenger. And it's been about 15 years since I did that. And so he got a bike last summer, and I was very excited for him to have a bike, but there was no way in the world I was going to get behind him on a bike and expect him to carry me at this size. And so I said, I promised him last year that I would get in shape so that by this year I'd be able to ride with him, because it's something we really enjoyed together. And we even had this motorcycle trip planned where we're going with a group of friends. Well, as winter turned into spring and spring turned into summer, I knew I was not going to be getting on the back of that bike. And so I tried to find an alternative trip, but it's something that he really wanted to do, and I was just mortified at the thought of trying to ride on the back of a bike in this condition. So he came up with a solution, which was to buy me my own motorcycle. Now, mind you, not only have I never ridden my own motorcycle, or anybody else's for that matter, I was terrified of the idea of riding a motorcycle, and also kind of embarrassed about to be this size and have people seeing me riding a motorcycle, because I knew what comments my own kids would be making about people my size on a motorcycle from the car when we're riding and we see them. So I didn't really want to be that woman. But I do want to have that quality time with my husband. So I committed to taking a motorcycle class to see if I could get good enough to, accompany him and our friends on this trip. And the motorcycle class was hard to do, not because of my inexperience on motorcycles, though that was part of it, but a big part of it was my size. And the bikes we were using in the class were these little Hondas, these 125cc things, and the shifting pegs and the brakes are directly under your seat, whereas on my Yamaha V-Star 1100 Custom, they are out front, so you have definitely better, not that it's a bike that fits me yet, but it is, at least I can get comfortable on it. I couldn't get comfortable on these little ones we needed for the class. So I had that, and I had a couple of really experienced guys in the class that I was taking who were just switching from dirt bikes to street bikes. So that was a little intimidating. And then my own awkward klutziness. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to even pass this class, but I did. And my first time on my own bike was actually before that. I'd been riding around the yard at about 5 miles an hour for several days before I finally got the nerve to go on the street, and found that was actually much easier to ride on the road than in your yard, even though you're going faster. So at that point I committed to, I passed my motorcycle class and committed to going on the motorcycle trip, and I've been getting some long rides in between 100 and 200 miles every other day, just so I can get used to the pace, because the first 3 or 4 days of the trip we're going to be traveling pretty hard, 300 to 400 miles a day on our way to Utah, St. George, Utah. I've improved a ton with the practice, but also most of this weight that I've dropped has been since I took the motorcycle class. In fact, I think I was on my 4th day of the juice fast when I went to the motorcycle class. So these are, that's helping my mobility on the bike. And last night was my first ride in the dark, so exciting stuff. But the big challenge is going on the trip for 17 days with my juicer. And I'm not worried at all about the social part. I'm totally comfortable now being in a restaurant or cooking for people, or I think I said that on my last video. But what the logistics of carrying this juicer in the limited space that you have to travel with. Got it taken care of though, got a bag that will hold it, no problem, and my plan is in the mornings I will, of course have my first juice, and then I'll make a couple of smaller, 12 to 20 ounce containers that I can bring with me to sip on during the day, and then I'll juice again at night for the evening, so I don't have to actually stop on the side of the road and try to juice, although Joe Cross did that quite effectively. And then I'm also hoping once I'm out of my little small town here where nobody's heard of a juice bar, in some of these bigger cities I might actually be able to get some fresh squeezed vegetable juice or fruit juice during the day if I want to. My volume of juice has gone way down since I started the fast anyway. I usually, I don't want to say I force myself to drink it, but in the morning I'll usually have a big 32 ounces of grapefruit lemon or something like that, and then a lot of times I'm not really hungry again, so I've started to break my morning up so that I'll have maybe an 8 ounce glass or 10 ounce glass, and then have another one around lunchtime, and then like this evening I'm having a delicious tomato, garlic, onion, red basil. I put a lot of red basil in it and it's really good. And then I think I said lemon, half a lemon, half an onion. And it's very satisfying. It gives me kind of that savory taste that a lot of the fruit juices don't. But I'm really enjoying my food, and I'm really enjoying how I feel, not feeling crummy after a meal, and seeing how many people do really, their mood goes down and their discomfort goes up after they've eaten, whereas I just feel energized. So that's it for today. I'll be talking more about my motorcycle trip plans on the next trip, and it could be that the next video is actually me. I'm going to share these video blogs with all of my friends and family, which is something that is hard for me to do, but I'll talk more about that later. Bye.